Okay, let us turn to page 4. I go for refuge and am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations of practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge and am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations of practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge and am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations of practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Sanye Joda Zoge Chonam La Chanjo Bado Dane Gyapsuch Dage Jinso Gebe Sonam Ge Chola Benjere Sanye Dubara Isho Sanye Joda Zoge Chonam La Chanjo Bado Dane Gyapsuch Dage Jinso Gebe Sonam Ge Chola Benjere Sanye Dubara Isho Sanye Joda Soge Chonam La Chanjo Bardo Dane Gyapsuche Dage Jinso Gebe Sonam Ge Chola Benjire Sanye Dubara Isho Sanye Joda Soge Chonam La Chanjo Bardo Dane Gyapsuche Dage Jinso Gebe Sonam Ge Chola Benjire Sanye Dubara Isho. Next P6. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum tesham tathagato yavatat tesham chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaye svaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetum tesham tathagato yavatat tesham chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaye svaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum tesham tathagato yavatat tesham chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaye svaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum tesham tathagato yavatat tesham chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaye svaha. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata, the cessation causes as well as taught by the great seer. Okay, this morning we began with the discussion on what's the purpose of life, and you may not decide it right away. Okay, this is the purpose of life, that is the purpose of life. You may not decide. But we need to continue to contemplate, think about this, and we see that gradually you continue to grow. You continue to grow in your understanding. This is bound to happen. And particularly with the texts such as what we are studying, the commentary in Bodhicittavivaraṇa or Chanju Simdil. As we understand these concepts more and more, then we say the purpose of life that you are seeking, it'll become more and more crystallized in your mind. So this is going to be a journey, not just okay, we come here with the sight. No, it's going to be a journey, experiential journey. For example, there many of my friends here, like say the Professor Brahmatinzivasala here, Professor Gavrila here, and we have many here, and here we have the Desi. All these many years she has been into this, and now she is feeling the purpose of life more and more concrete, solid. So likewise, we see that there are many of us, my friends here. This is an ongoing process. We keep, our knowledge keeps growing, experience becomes richer, and then you will come to know that, for example, like the directions that His Holiness the Dalai Lama gives. This is solid, very solid for your own well-being. This is something that we are very fortunate to have, amazing and great enlightened. I call as today's Buddha, His Holiness with us, and this is so precious, so precious. Okay, so with this in mind, the purpose of life in simple terms. I'm not going to give you the detailed in depth. This is the ongoing the inquiry from each one of our side. But in short, do you agree with me? One, that what we are doing, we are trying to, for example, say, coming to this, most of us, we put sunscreen. Yes, no? We put sunscreen. Why? 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 Hey, this is Yangjin. Why?
There's no sun here.
You don't use sunscreen?
No sun in Gompa.
In Gompa, outside, yes. So you use sunscreen? You don't use. Okay, so why do we use sunscreen, dear? Why?
Because I don't want to suffer from sunburn.
Okay, so we don't, otherwise we'll suffer from sunburn or ultraviolet penetration. So otherwise we'll suffer, which means I don't want to suffer. Okay, how many agree with me with, what's your name?
Diana.
What Diana said, that otherwise people will suffer, which means I don't want suffering. How many agree with me? We start from this. I don't want to suffer. Okay, now what kind of suffering? What degree of suffering you don't want? 10%, 20%, 100%? What degree of suffering you don't want? This is the question. You want the suffering to be zero. So 100%, you want to be 100% free from suffering. How many agree with Diana? Raise hands. Okay. Sorry?
Doesn't suffer have any degree at all.
Meaning?
You just said 10%, 15%. How can we measure suffering?
Okay, that's good. That's good, okay. So you accept least suffering and the maximum suffering?
No, there is suffering or no suffering.
I say, okay. So they say 1 day hunger, no breakfast, and whole day no food, which is better?
It depends.
Morning breakfast, you don't get. No breakfast, right? Afternoon dinner, you'll get. This is one choice. Another choice is morning breakfast, afternoon, morning lunch, nothing.
Okay, but if it's good for health, for example, not having breakfast and dinner,
Okay.
so suffering is not suffering.
Not also lunch. Okay, so what I'm saying, there's suffering, there are a range of suffering. You're getting it? For example, cancer, there are a range of cancers. You're getting it? For example, in the court case, say murder case, there are a range of murder cases, not only one. You're getting it? If you don't know that, you have to check with the lawyers. There are many lawyers here. Okay, so what I'm saying is that they say the suffering, say what degree of suffering you don't want. The reality is that I don't want to suffer. This is the reality. But what degree? I don't want 10% suffering, 100%. I want suffering to be zero, or 10% is good. Resents? Okay, zero suffering. Resents? Suffering? No, 10, 5. I don't want suffering at all. Enough, right? Enough. Okay, I know that some of you may say that, some of you may in your thought, may that maybe 5% suffering is good to appreciate happiness. How many think like this, raise hands? How many think like this? Okay, look at these people. So tomorrow no suffering, no breakfast for them to appreciate the lunch and dinner, including Tashila. Right? Okay, so what I'm saying is that sometimes we don't have the suffering, we don't have the manifest suffering. We live in we live in the idealistic world. Oh, 10% suffering is good. You try to justify that. When it comes to you, not even 1%, you cannot bear it. You getting it? Okay, so and this is one thing. Number two is that how many you like cheesecake? Resents. When I say cheesecake, look, people are smiling. Why cheesecake? Why not you go for ordinary bread? Why cheesecake? Because I like it. I want my happiness to expand. You getting it? One is miseries. I don't want the miseries. Other one is happiness. I want to expand the happiness. They're two things. Okay, tell me, who's that? The boys or the girls who want happiness and who doesn't want suffering? Boys or the girls? Both. The Ladakhis and non-Ladakhis. Both. Buddhists, non-Buddhists. Everyone. You getting it? So therefore, these teachings are for universal teachings. These are not for Buddhists, not necessarily only for the Buddhists or only for this category, for everyone. You're getting it? So this is where we need to learn how to maintain an open mind. Open mind. Finally, it's not about Buddhism. It's about my well-being. You're getting it? My well-being. Well-being of my family. Well-being of the world. Well-being of the world. That's the reason why I have to grow. It's not about religion, isms. It's for your well-being. For well-being, say you take something from, say, Christianity, which is very useful, take it. Something from Hinduism, take it. Whatever is good for you, take it. For something from Islam, take it. Something from Sikhs, something from non-believers, scientists, take this. Some people from the village, very uneducated villagers, extremely kind. Learn from them. So this is what we need to do that in mind. So with this in mind, what we're saying is that I'm sure that you all will agree with me that on a very gross level, say the purpose of life is to minimize my suffering and to expand the happiness. Okay, how many of you would say 60% or more you agree with what I'm saying? To minimize my suffering and expand my happiness. Raise hands. Good. So meanwhile, the next thing is that some of you may be wondering, okay, the purpose of my life is to minimize my suffering, expand my happiness. What about others? What about compassion? Some of you have this thought, I know. You're getting it? So those people who seriously think like this, for example, like Daisy here, raise hand, Daisy, raise hand. Yes, I can see the tears on her eyes because Geshe was talking about my misery, remove my miseries and expanding your happiness, my happiness. What about others? You're getting it? So that she knows exactly what I'm going to speak. But some of us who have this thought, don't worry. If you have these thoughts, you are an amazing person. Or he's speaking about minimizing my happiness, minimizing my miseries and expanding my happiness. It's not about compassion for others. If you fall in this category, wholeheartedly, not just idealistically, wholeheartedly, if you feel that, which means that you are a very kind person. You're getting it? This very precious. So these kind people, what I would say is that those people who agree with me don't think that you're not kind. You're getting it? You're also a very realistic person. But the kind people say they what I would suggest wait for some time. Wait for the next few days. Then you will discover that the wisest thing to expand your happiness, to minimize your miseries, The wisest thing to do so is by reaching out your hands to others, the maximum. Universal compassion for others and the maximum, the aspiration for your happiness, these two are synonymous on a high level. You getting it? On a high level, these two are same. These remain the same. So we have to start from the reality. Don't start from the empowerment. You're getting it? Oh, some blessings coming. Don't start from the empowerment. Start from the reality. The reality is that how many you must have born, how many of you must have been born, day one you're born crying. Of course you will not remember. I don't remember. But you must have cried. Day one you're born, raise hands. Okay. Say those people who don't raise their hands, you don't know that somebody slapped you. Right? If you don't cry, somebody will slap you to make you cry. So when you cry, why the person slapped you? To make you breathe. If you don't breathe, you will die. So the person who slapped you to make you breathe. And you cried not because to breathe. You cried because somebody slapped me. Right? I am in pain. You getting it? I am in pain. And how many of you cried saying that, oh, the other baby, right? Other baby is bitten. Other baby is feeling sad. How many cried like this? I'm sure nobody. You getting it? So which means that we began our life with I. Don't feel shy that we have a sense of self-cherishing. Don't feel shy. We have to accept the reality and transform. We have to accept the reality and transform. To transform, don't accept, don't follow blindly, saying that, oh, somebody will come, bless us, then my mind will change, then I'll be very happy. Don't expect that. Don't expect that. So what is the real transformation? So unwise people, when somebody shows you in a very barren place where there's no food, hotel, restaurant, nothing available, somebody shows you say, picture of pizza, this is a pizza. You're very happy. Oh, there's a pizza there. Wise people, rather than picture of pizza, they would rather go for a small piece of bread. A small piece of bread will really help you. Picture of pizza will not help you. You getting it? So those people who are attracted by this unrealistic path is unwise. Those who go for the realistic path, these are the wise people. So we'll come to soon discover that those people who think about other people, who think about family members, who think about the poor animals around you, and who think about the world, Israel-Iran war, Ukraine-Russian war. So those people who think about the world should not suffer. Why the world is suffering? That should not happen. Those people, I would say that you are a very kind person. Very kind person. And oftentimes the kind person, when they don't have the correct information, they will feel so helpless. Whereas if you have vast information, these kind of people can create a magic in the world. To be very honest, if His Holiness the Dalai Lama is the world, say, somebody, the world leader or the General Secretary of UNO or the President of America, the world is at peace, 100%. 100%. This is reality. So what I'm saying is that each one of us, we have to think of becoming one like His Holiness. Eventually, to create peace in your mind and to create peace in your environment. Not only to the human beings, to the animals. Not only to human beings and the animals, even to the vegetations. Because the vegetations, ecology, that is the only home. If we destroy this, how can you expect the human beings to survive? How can I expect these poor animals to survive? So that way, each one of us, some of you may think that, no, I came here not to take big responsibilities. Don't worry. In whatever capacity, we're going to learn how to take responsibility. In whatever capacity. In your own capacity, for example, taking care of a family. taking care of family. And that's amazing. As I said earlier, this boy, now not boy, now gentleman, Tashila, when I first met him, he was a young boy. So he's taking responsibility. He's taking responsibility. For example, like today, Ijomala, had it been supported by Venerable Professor Bujala, taking responsibility. And amazing example of the most venerable Geshe, the Tsawala. Huge, incredible great courage to start everything from scratch in this place. Amazing. So let us learn how to take responsibility. And believe it or not, you have the capacity. I have the capacity. Each one of us has the capacity to save the world. We have that capacity. But to what extent this capacity will be activated? It depends on situation. Don't think that tomorrow we can become the world leaders. Don't expect that. So it's a matter of time. It's a matter of creating the situation, awakening your potential inside. And we're going to study what is this potential inside. So what makes him say so confidently that each one of us, we have this capacity? So it's a network of so many things connected, but wise people, and believe it or not, we cannot make too much change in the world, but what you're going to eat, where you're going to go is in your hand. How many of you agree with me? Raise hands. That is in your hand. And that may not be fully in your hand, but you have that in your hand much more so than you have some, say, the control over other people. In comparing yourself, managing other people, and comparing with managing yourself, you have a greater say on yourself. So this we see that so you have this potential. Never ever let us not underestimate a potential. Never ever underestimate a potential, and we're going to go more into detail on these points. So the first thing that I'd like to quickly share with you here is that the journey that Prince Siddhartha took to live the joys, the luxury of a princely life, leave behind, and then come barefooted and put effort to save the world. To save the world. Look at all the brilliant teachers like Arya Nagarjuna, Arya Sangha, Bodhisattva Arideva, Acharya Chandrakirti, Bodhisattva Shantideva, all the great Nalanda masters, master from Vikramashila, Chinese tradition, Theravada tradition, and today His Holiness the Dalai Lama, they are all the products of this message taught by this great teacher who left the palace to save the world. So now each one of us, if we can learn how to, say, activate your potential through this incredibly valuable information of how to activate your potential, how to take the responsibility, how to feel the courage. Not only courage, but to make sure that when you bring the changes, that there should be no disturbance to the public. This is so important. Sometimes we tend to, for example, say, even I would say, to be very bold, I would say that some vegetarian activist. I'm a pure vegetarian. I promote vegetarianism, but I'm not at all in favor of becoming a vegetarian activist, very aggressive activist, because it disturbs so many people. While you are trying to help somebody, you are disturbing so many people, and to the extent that we may make others who are non-vegetarians full of their demons. This is sometimes a problem. So they say this is known as what is known as skillfulness. Skillfulness taught by the Buddha for those people who are following the Bodhisattva path to make a change in the world. First, to make a change in yourself, to make a change in the world. So those people, how you make these changes, make sure that everything, nobody's disturbed, and yet the changes is happening so seamlessly. For example, one example that I give is here, Ajay Kesanla, raise hand. I'm so amazed. Most likely, that was the first time that she was managing this retreat in Bodh Gaya, and how she was managing. Usually, I always get the feedback from, okay, Kishla, this is happening there. And I would say, okay, something will happen. And then I go somewhere else, again, next retreat, again, somebody goes, Kishla, something is happening with Ajay Sala. No complaint coming to me. And I see and yet so effective. In fact, to some extent, I said that perhaps this is the first time where I'm not hearing any complaints, where everything is so effectively, right? If you don't do anything, again, no complaints, right? Where everything is happening, so seamlessly happening, and people are so happy, no complaints. This is a skill. This is a great skill required for somebody following the Bodhisattva path. And I know that my friend, he will not be happy. Mr. Rinzila there, Mr. Rinzila's hand. Amazing. You're getting it? Amazing. I learned from somebody who was working under him. He was a government official at a high level. And my friend said that my friend felt that she was so important in the office because of the sir coming to the office and just gently talking to her like this. Everybody was coming to her, said that, how do you know him? Right? So look. So where somebody feels so, so isolated, and then your compassion comes in, then everybody will sense that, okay, you are not ordinary, you are somebody who is very important. So what I'm saying is that these are known as the compassionate skillfulness or skillful compassion, which we really need to learn. Okay, so with this in mind, now they say like His Holiness. So the good news that we heard is that, okay, now they say that now it's almost like everybody knows that. So His Holiness is now make a visit to Ladakh on 12th of July. Amazing. Everybody there's a glow, the heart just opens up, relaxes. Everybody feels that. So why His Holiness? Why people loved him? He's a product of this message the Buddha taught 2,500 years ago. Each one of us, we can become somebody like His Holiness, if not in this life, in the near future lifetimes, that each one of us can take the responsibility to make a difference, to uplift the state of the people who are otherwise downtrodden by others, suffering in war zones and so forth, and animals who are being neglected. So, for example, say, I know of some people that, oh, this dog is cute. What? But he's cute. When the dog is a puppy, it's very cute. Oh, it's cute. We will give it a pet. And then the dog becomes big. And then you don't have space. And then you abandon. And the dog does not know how to get food. You're getting it? The stray dogs, they're expert. They know how to get food. They know how to survive without food. But these dogs, they don't know. In the first place, they're everyday fed. So they don't know how to live without the food. And they don't know how to get food. You're getting it? So therefore, we should be extremely sensitive to make sure that when you handle something, that there's no repercussions. There are no bad consequences afterwards. Nobody's disturbed. This is so important, including in the family, where some people, they may be so good, they may be like a bodhisattva when they go out, but at home, it's disaster. You're getting it? At home is disaster. The moment the person goes out, it's like a bodhisattva. Everybody loves. At home is a disaster. So we need to learn all these skills whereby that your presence should not be disturbance to anybody inside the house, outside the house. And meanwhile, you grow. Your happiness should grow. Your miseries should be mitigated. If this is what happens, the purpose of life is being fulfilled. So having said this, the Buddha identified all our problems. Why in the modern education there's a tremendous emphasis on the education? Anyone guess? Why there's a tremendous emphasis on education? Anyone? Each one of us, we spend minimum like 10, 12, 15 years in the modern education. That too, the prime of your life. The prime of life. The body, the most agile, and the mind, most fresh. That is dedicated to a modern education. Why do we have to spend this much of time, resource, energy, the prime of life on the modern education? Anyone?
Because I think it changes the way you think.
It changes the way you think. What's the problem with old thinking?
Your thinking, like, you don't know how to discern whether something is true versus if something is false.
Okay, sorry, your name?
Johnson.
Brenslav, yes. What Brenslav from Apple company? Yes. So what Brenslav is saying is that to change our thinking from the old style thinking to a different way of thinking, what you have to change? Something's wrong with the old style. Yes, what's the old problem with the old style? Old style thinking, we don't know what is correct and what is wrong. So oftentimes we embrace the wrong things. We discard the good things. That's the old style thinking. We have to change it. So that thinking is ignorance or wisdom. So to embrace the wrong things and to discard the good things is ignorance or wisdom. Ignorance or wisdom. Okay, this is ignorance. I can't believe somebody is saying wisdom, right? And that too coming from somebody who I respect. Okay, so this is ignorance. You're getting it? So the Buddha indicated that all our problems are rooted to ignorance. Let me repeat it. All our problems are rooted to ignorance. Meanwhile, keep in mind that simply because Buddha said it, don't take it blindly. You getting it? What the Buddha said usually, what I would say is that what the Buddha said, we learn. What anybody said, we learn. We learn doesn't mean we accept. Doesn't mean we reject. We learn. Only when you learn, you will know whether to reject or accept. You're getting it? Therefore, don't be quick to accept. Don't be quick to reject. Learn. There's no harm in learning. There's no harm in learning. But don't be quick to reject or accept. You're getting it? This is very important. Only if you learn, then you will know whether to reject or accept. Many people, what they do is that they don't learn, they accept. And some people, they don't learn, they reject. Right? Oh, this is coming from Buddhism. You are following Buddhism. This is for the Buddhism. This is not about Buddhism, or this is not about isms. It's about whether it's reality or not. Because we suffer because of ignorance. We suffer because of ignorance. And whatever helps us to remove the ignorance, that is what we have to adopt. So the Buddha taught that all our miseries are rooted to ignorance. But we have to evaluate this. You're getting it? You have to evaluate this. You learn this, and what kind of ignorance? There's so many levels of ignorance. What kind of ignorance is responsible for the miseries? Okay, so some of you already know this. It was 2003. 2003. Desi was not born? Born. Okay, so 2003, I was in Cambridge University, and I always meet with many professors, particularly, say, there was one physics professor. And by the way, this morning I mentioned that I loved. Today, if you ask me, do you still love physics? I'm not too sure. But in those days, I loved physics. And I used to meet a lot of the physics professors. And particularly, there was one physics professor who was extremely bright, exceptionally bright. Why I'm saying this? Because I was trained. I'm trained as a philosopher and logician. And we're trained in debating. So from there, you can see if somebody talks, utter two lines, you will see how smart the person is. You can really sense it. And he's exceptionally smart. To the extent that majority of the people who he encounters with, they, after two lines, they cannot speak to him. Because he said that there's internal contradiction, what you say. And you utter the second word, you say there's another internal contradiction. And you stop talking. This is who this man is, this professor. So one day, it's a long story, to cut it short. One day, he told me that in this world, only physics is education. Okay, how many are from the education sense? In this world, only physics is education. Okay, those from physics raise hands. 1 brings love, 2, 3, 4. Only 4. Oh, where is our physicist girl? Here 5, there's 1. Hey, over there, smart girl, raise hand. Hey, raise hand, show your face. Yes, she's a physicist. And where's the MTech? The girl there. So there are only few, according to him, there are only few who are from the education. The rest of us, we are not from education. Because he said, in this world, only physics is education. Then I asked, why? Okay, let us see what he has to say. He said, because it is only physics which allows you to have a critical thinking. All others are imitation of the earlier teachers. Let me repeat it. Because only physics allows you to have a critical thinking. All others are imitation of the earlier teachers. Then I told him, okay, wait. Listen to what the Buddha has to say. Then I quoted the Buddha, who said, the bhikshus and the wise people, just as the goldsmith tests the purity of the gold by cutting, rubbing, and burning the gold, you should also examine my words and put them to practice, not simply because you respect me. Then he remained silent for a few seconds. And he said, oh, the Buddha must have been a great physicist. Okay, so what I'm saying here, this should be an approach. And Buddha would be very upset. He says that all the miseries are rooted to ignorance. And you say, yes, sir. He'll be very upset. Only if you say that, okay, sir, let me check. He'll be very happy. You getting it? He wants us to analyze. He doesn't want us to follow blindly. Okay, so with this, now, the 10 days, I was about to say 10 years. Okay, yes, it will become 10 years eventually. Those who are smart, it'll turn to 10 years. So, the 10 days, we're going to explore how ignorance is the root of the problem, number one. Number two, what levels of ignorance are there, and particularly which ignorance is primarily the culprit, ultimate culprit of all our problems. We're going to discover that. This is the two things that we're going to discover. So for the time being, to create the structure of the teaching, because that the teaching starts with the most complicated matter, and then you will get lost. You're getting it? And then for me to see that you are lost, I'll get lost. That's for sure. Because, what gives me energy is, depends on your face, your faces. And your face seems lost, my energy goes away. You're getting it? So therefore, I'm creating this structure for the time. Don't take things for granted or just say blindly. Just learn something, note them down for your further inquiries. Okay, so what we said is that the Buddha indicated that all our miseries are rooted to ignorance. So our job is to remove the ignorance. Okay, so this is so important. This is going to be, keep thinking. Let me think. Let you also think. This is very important. Keep thinking. And this will give you joy that what I'm learning is not an ism. What I'm learning is not a blind faith. It will give you a sense of joy and confidence. A confidence will come to you. Okay. So for this, meanwhile, two jobs, don't forget it. One, to get information. Number two, to upgrade your hardware. You getting it? What is your hardware? What is hardware? Your intelligence. It has to be upgraded. You're getting it? So how to upgrade it? Take part in this. Don't think that, okay, he asks a question, somebody else give answer, then you just remain passive. No, you also give answer. And I may not be able to give chance to everybody, but you give the answer and see. While you give the answer, you're thinking. When you're thinking, somebody gives the answer, ask the question. If the two answers are same, then good. If not, why you disagree with the other person's answer? Why? Again, think. This will make your hardware improve. This is how you upgrade your hardware. Okay. Having said this, I'll ask a question to you. And then you have to give me an answer. Not answer. You have to give me advice. I'm seeking advice. And particularly those people who are meeting me for the first time. Okay. Including Kandela. Okay, those of you who are meeting for the first time, Angela, no. Not Angela. Then Angela met me so many times. Okay, so my question to you is, not my question. I seek your advice. That first I have to give you some information, and you have to give me advice. That I have a problem. My problem, okay, don't take it too seriously. I'm cooking a story. Don't take it too seriously. Listen to the situation, and then when I ask for the advice, you give me advice. I have a problem of asthma problem. I have an asthma problem, breathing problem, asthma problem. And the reason why I have this problem is because that, one, I'm in Delhi. And particularly in the month of May and June, this problem started. And I live in Delhi, third floor. In the month of May and June, the weather is so dry in Delhi. It's not the wet. It's dry. And the weather is hot and dry. And I have this asthma problem. There's some moisture in my house. Because of this, I have an asthma problem. And I don't want this asthma problem. What advice would you give me? Anyone, particularly those people who are meeting me for the first time or who are hearing me for the first time. Anyone raise hands? What advice would you give me to help me to get away from my problems? Okay, the boy over there, your name? Mike? Okay. Okay, without mic is also fine.
My name is Yogender. I'm from Kullu, and I would advise you to come to my city and stay there.
Okay, so you want me to come to Kulu?
Or Ladakh.
Or Ladakh? Okay. So then who will take care of Tibet House? Okay, this. Okay, the next, the gentleman there.
Yeah, remove the causes of the asthma.
Remove the
Causes of the asthma. The cause of the asthma.
This was so. What advice would you give me? Don't just say that. Become enlightened. Become Buddha. Your problem's over. The lady there.
I invited to come to see me in Africa. Here, the weather is 47 degrees in the shade.
Where?
In Africa.
In Africa. So I have to move to Africa.
Yes.
Who will take care of Tibet House?
And after that, your
No, I understand that. It's fine.
participation won't be that bad after all.
So who will take care of Tibet House? This is a question. Okay, Kandela. Okay, the Kandela is so kind. He is more practical. No need to go to Africa. No need to go to Kulu. Stay in Delhi. Take care of Tibet House. And use an inhaler or dehumidifier. Right? Okay. Okay, the gentleman over there. Yes.
There is a plant in Ladakh, it's called ephedra. Always this ephedrine drug is made. So here the local healers, they make a very good formulation, and many people are telling that it is a good herbal drug for asthmatic patients. So I think it's better to consult local healers here. That's why you can stay in Tibet House also and get rid of asthma.
Okay.
You don't need the plant, the local healers will make a formulation based on that particular plant.
Please no Ladakh, because in Ladakh very extra dry air. Vishwa, you should find the reason from water in your room.
There are some breathing practices that increase some capacity for pure and
Yeah, here.
Может ли мне кто-то помочь с переводом на английский с русского? Ага. У меня нет совета, но мне хочется выделить две вещи.
I don't have advice, but I want to distinguish the two things.
Yes.
Здесь есть боль и дискомфорт, связанный с астмой.
You have pain and discomfort connected with asthma.
Есть страдания, связанные с идентичностью астматика.
And also you have the suffering because of this pain of being identified with the asthmatic person.
И у меня точно нет совета ни к одному из этих пунктов. Я уверен, что у вас есть намного более хорошие ответы к каждому из них.
And I definitely don't have an answer to either of these both points. I'm sure that you have good answer.
Okay. So they. Yes.
Usually, I think you need to find a root cause of this problem.
And this correct?
NMC.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Okay. So say louder. Your name? Aruna.
So Aruna is saying, Gisela, don't listen to other people. Don't go to Africa, don't go to Kulu, don't die inhaler. Inhaler will make you addicted. And dehumidifier, right? Sometimes it breaks, and you call, the person will say 72 hours of working, 72 working hours, right, required. And which means the person will come 3 days later, 3 times after you suffer, right? Okay, and then the exercises, right? I did the exercise and the still doesn't go away. Okay, so what Aruna and what Elena, right? So what two of them are saying is that don't listen to anybody else. So two of them said, Gisela, can we come to your room just for 5 minutes? I said, yes. Two of them came, and then they checked. They see that my water pipeline, there is a very fine crack there. I give you all the clue. I was on 3rd floor. And number one, Delhi in the month of May, June, weather is so dry, which means it's not the weather issue. It's a dry. And I said, I'm the third floor. Third floor means the moisture is not coming from the floor ground. It's on third floor. So if there's still the moisture there, that is creating the asthma, moisture must be coming from the water pipe somewhere. So two of them came and checked and said that, Geshe, now you have to give us 10 rupees. $1. I give $1. They went around. There's a shop near me, near my place, and they bought this M-Seal. This is like a glue. So two of them came and then they fixed this fine crack, and the moisture disappeared. I don't have to go to Africa. I don't have to use the inhaler. I don't have to buy the dehumidifier. For 10 rupees, just less than $1, I'm able to solve the problems. You getting it? So how two of them succeeded in remove this problem is because that they're able to track the root cause. How they're able to track the root cause? Because they joined the Nalanda studies. You're getting it? Okay. So what I'm saying is that the Buddha is saying that all our problems are rooted to the ignorance. Unless we deal with this ignorance, any treatment that you go for, they all become symptomatic treatment. These are not the lasting treatment. Let's not forget it. Okay, with this in mind, so now from this we get a clue that what kind of solution the Buddha has been looking for. This journey of leaving the palace, meeting with the first teacher, meeting with the second teacher, and then sitting for 6 years of the meditative practice. So what solution was he looking for? Anyone? You can guess now. To look for what? Anyone? Raise hand. I cannot hear. Anyone? Anyone? Here, gentleman here. Yes. Yes, yes.
He wanted to diminish all the suffering. He wanted to diminish all the suffering.
To diminish the suffering. Now let us be more precise. We have already learned the first session, now the second session. Okay, tell me what he said is correct, but it can be even more precise. What solution is he looking to minimize the suffering? Here, remove the ignorance. Okay, how many agree? Yes. Okay, so now we are going to the depth. So he has been actually looking for the solution, to look for the solution which can remove the ignorance. Remove the ignorance, misery stops. For example, say 3,000 years ago, 4,000 years ago, imagine Arctic Circle was there. Glaciers were there, icebergs were there. And these icebergs in those days, 4,000 years ago, should somebody be there, cannot even have an imagination that one day these icebergs will melt. They thought that this is so steady and strong. If you stack buildings, you can stack like 20, 30 stories very easily on top of that. Then 2025 comes by after 4,000 years. What happens? Global warming. Even the icebergs start to melt. Then what happened to what was stacked on top of that? They will all crumble down. You're getting it? When the iceberg, which is the foundation for all these what is stacked on top of this, when the iceberg melts, everything stacked on top of this will crumble down. Ignorance is the iceberg on which all the miseries are stacked. The moment the ignorance melts, all the miseries will disappear on its own. You getting it? So the Buddha's journey was to look for the solution to get rid of this ignorance. As your name, Bhavani. So as Bhavani said, look for to get rid of the solution, get rid of ignorance. Okay, now tell me, if he finds a solution to get rid of ignorance, what should he be doing or she be doing? Tell me, if he finds a solution, then what he should be doing or she should be doing? Anyone?
Test the solution. Test it. Try.
Nalanda studies? Nalanda? No.
That's amazing. So which must say that he was close to the Buddha those days. He saw the Buddha. Buddha was testing it, right? That's amazing. What's your name?
Yogender.
Yogender. Ah, that's amazing. Okay, so let's say that he found the solution, he tested it, and he saw the efficacy, 100% efficacy. What should he be doing then? Jimala is saying the purpose is to share with other beings. Yes, you agree? Because he left the palace not because that he's suffering. He's looking for the solution for the world. The world is suffering. So therefore, the wisdom that he found, the solution that he found, his job is to share. Once he found the efficacy, 100% efficacy, his job is to share. So in what form he shares? Anyone? So in a way, what we're doing is that we're making things crystal clear. We have been learning about this, that, and so forth. And what exactly do you mean by that? We're not too sure. So with these questions will help us to understand things crystal clear. With what mode he shared this wisdom? Anyone? Kandala? Teachings. You're getting it? Okay, teachings. How many of you agree with Kandala's hands? Teaching. So now comes he, after becoming enlightened, he started to share his wisdom in the form of giving teachings. You're getting it? So this connects us to the next topic, which is what is known as the three turnings of the wheel of Dharma. Dharma meaning teachings. Let me repeat it. This connects to what Kandila said. This connects us to what is known as the three turnings of the wheel of Dharma. In other words, he taught, broadly speaking, he taught the teaching. He gave teachings in 3 different places at 3 different times. These are technically known as 3 turnings of the wheel of Dharma. What I would suggest is that it's teaching, yeah. So why in technical terms? Not necessary. Technical terms are very helpful because it will help you to refine your thought processes. Refining thought processes later on. Say, okay, now I attend this retreat. Let's say the Bhavani. Okay, Bhavani and each one of us. Your name? Nitya. And the Yoginder. Okay, that's each one of us. After attending the 10-day teaching, and then you happen to meet with one scholar, and said that, sir, I've attended the 10-day teaching. It's very helpful. It's amazing. What do you study? I study Arya Nagarjuna. The moment the big scholars, they hear this name, Arya Nagarjuna's teaching, their eyes will just become big. You getting it? You already studied Arya Nagarjuna. Yes. Do you understand something? Yes, it's so beautiful. And they said, what did you learn? I learned that Buddha gave 3 teachings. You getting it? Then they will say, okay, it's very rudimentary. But you say the Buddha turned 3, Buddha did turning of 3, what? He gave the 3 turnings wheel of Dharma. Technical terms, they will take you very seriously. You getting it? Then you will get a chance to go deeper. Otherwise, they will take you very lightly. They will not take you seriously because you don't have the technical terms. From there, they can easily figure out that your knowledge is very basic. It is not at all fine-tuned. You getting it? Okay. So, on the 3 turnings of, 3 turnings of wheel of Dharma. You getting it? Okay. So now 3 turnings of wheel of Dharma for what? To help the beings to remove the ignorance. You getting it? To help the beings remove the ignorance. Okay. So the 3 turnings. We have to know this. The 3 turnings. Okay, it's already time up. Till 12:30, right? Okay, so now we reach this point, 3 turnings of wheel of Dharma. And I can see that there are some who are seniors. For you, these are like repetitions, but for revisions. But the new beginners, if I don't go through all these details, then the beginners can get easily get lost, and then you may feel that next 10 days will not be of much benefit. So therefore, I'm doing these things, and particularly the seniors, I request you that during the group discussion, make sure that you listen more than you try to throw your very complicated the questions. Then maybe during the 4th day, 5th day, you can ask your questions also, and then see how others respond. Okay, so we'll stop here. Okay, by the way, there is one, the praise to the Buddha Shakyamuni, and within Buddhism, we see that there are many traditions. Within Buddhism, there are many traditions, and in the first place, I prefer this to be purely secular. Purely secular, this is what I prefer. And then, if at all somebody comes with, I want to learn Buddhism, then for you, I would say this, you keep it more non-sectarian. Keep it very non-sectarian, where you can embrace any tradition. And this is our job. It's not to become a part of a party, but for us to create a well-being in yourself, and to see a purpose, to find the meaning of one's life. So with this in mind, there's one, the praise to Buddha Shakyamuni, which I would request the Ajahn Geshe has, and Ajahn Geshe will somehow make it available to all of you. So, and it'll be sung chanted in Tibetan language, but you will see the Tibetan phonetics also. You can read it in English. It's very easy. Okay, so we'll do it now, and then later Ajahn Geshe will send it to all of you. Those of you who know how to sing this, chant this, please join me. And those of you who don't know, just listen to us and join. Tabge tuje shaye riso chon shenge meto Dege ponjomba serge lumbo tabo jebe ko shaye gebo kela cha lo Oh, mone, Mahamona Yeswaha. 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 Okay, 3 prostrations.